this is Mark Zaspa. I am the current program administrator of IPAS Honor Review and Mentoring Academy. So today, we'll be discussing about some stuff that you need to do in terms of your preparation for the examination because of course, NCLEX is a little bit difficult. It's one of the most challenging exams for a nurse to do. And a lot of nurses really are a little bit intimidated about the NCLEX itself because if we're going to look at the historical passing rate of NCLEX, it is a little bit low for internationally educated nurses, how much more for Filipinos, because one of the reasons why the passing rate is a little bit low compared to the American counterparts of internationally educated nurses is the cultural aspect of the examination, because we have to remember that we're taking the exam based on the American setting. And of course, American setting is far more different from all other settings, regardless of where you are. Like for example, if you are from the Middle East, in Australia, or in the Philippines. So today, we'll be doing some quick roundabout of common challenges, what are the things you can do to address those challenges, and what are the things that you can expect on the actual examination, the do's and don'ts on the Pearson view during your actual examination. So let's talk about the usual challenges or problems encountered by nurses trying to start their NCLEX journeys. One of the key things, or like one of the salient features of NCLEX preparation, is that this is a form of adult learning. Of course, in our case here at IPAS Honor Review and Mentoring Academy, most of the students that we have are between the ages of 30 to 40s, and we have actually a lot of students who are above 40s. One of the oldest student that we have and already passed the examination she was 64 years old. So this is a form of adult learning, and this is really different from what we're used to do, which is child learning or like pedagogy, because adult learning poses a lot of challenges that somehow serves as a hindrance to a successful or smooth sailing preparation. So one of the key things there that poses as a challenge for adult learners is time management. Of course, majority of those who are preparing for the NCLEX right now has their own families. Like for example, our students based in the United Kingdom or in Europe for that matter, and those in the Middle East, in other parts of the world, they have to juggle work and parenting at the same time, and reviewing as well. So you can just imagine the amount of effort that you need to do, the amount of organizational skills that you need to do, time management skills that you need to have in order for you to become a parent, to do good at your work, and of course, to manage your review at the same time. So that is one. And whenever we talk to our students during our coaching sessions, it's always one of their really challenges on how they can juggle work, parenting, and review at the same time. Another challenge that the students commonly have is the question of how and where they should start their NCLEX preparation, because there are a lot of resources that you can do, you can buy online. For sure, you are familiar, if you're a nurse, no, you are familiar with common resources, and there's a lot. You have the conventional resources that you can buy. You have books, and also you have to do a lot of practice questions. Okay, so you have to buy the third-party question banks, and of course, if you're going to start or like strengthen your content or concepts, you have to either do self-review or you can enroll at the review center. So it's a little challenging for the students, and they're confused on what material to use and when to start, how long is the common preparation, and how are they going to choose the right materials for them. So that's one. And also, last thing, of course, that poses a challenge on the examination is the anxiety towards the examination. Whenever we do our focus group discussions to our students who were unfortunate or were not successful on their previous attempts below, when we ask them what went wrong on their examination, so they always tell us that anxiety plays a huge part on the reason why they weren't able to effectively answer the questions being posed to them by the computer. All right, because the NCLEX uses computer adaptive testing, and the degree of difficulty of the questions you will encounter on the actual exam day, that will depend on your performance. So of course, it's always a common response for the students that whenever they encounter difficult questions, anxiety also increases at the same time. So those are the common challenges encountered by the students on the NCLEX preparation. Of course, there's the time management, there is the confusion on materials, and lastly, the anxieties encountered during the actual examination. Then, so how are we going to address those things? Well, in terms of time management, is here that you can do really is to have that sense of self-awareness on where you can insert your review activities during the day. You have to decide and you have to really organize your time. We have a lot of time management tools that we teach our students. We have Pomodoro technique is one of the effective productivity method and tools that we encourage our students to do. We also teach them the cyclical approach on how they can allot their time on a weekly basis. Okay, so we tell them to decide on how many hours you can do per day and then how many hours you can do on a weekly basis, and then that's going to serve as your short-term goals. Because journeying to the NCLEX is a long journey. It will take months. And on an average, like our students reviews for an average of 6 months. So you can just imagine the amount of time and the amount of patience that you need to have in order to finish your review in an average of 6 months. Okay? So that's going to be your long-term goals, and we teach our students to do short-term goals such as that cyclical approach in managing their weekly goals of the amount of time that they can spend on the review. Now, next is the materials. Okay, so you have also to ask yourself, are you okay doing self-reviews, or you need help from experts or like from review centers such as IPAS Online Review and Mentoring Academy? If you think that you need to review at a review center, then I'd rather have you spend or like invest money on review centers, because based on the feedback that we have from our students who are new enrollees, they took the exams before and they did self-review, and one realizations that they have after failing the exam is they wish they enrolled at the review center, because it's really difficult for students, especially for those who have graduated from a long time ago, to do self-review, because again, there's the issue of neuroplasticity. The older we get, okay, the less plastic our neurons and brain cells are. So it's not that agile anymore compared to our younger selves. So that's one of the challenges as well. So if you need help, I'd rather have you spend money on the review center, because it's going to be a really good investment. And decide on which materials you can use. Are you more leaning into the conventional paper, or are you good with soft copies of materials? There are a lot of soft copies you can buy online. And also you have a lot of online question banks as well. So you have to choose. And one of the key things that you can do in terms of choosing the material is less is more. It doesn't mean that the more materials you have, the better it is. It's actually counterproductive, because you tend to get confused on which concepts to follow. Okay, sometimes because they're conflicting. Okay, like this book says this one and then the other book says otherwise. So I'd rather have you focus on your review center, on the materials they give, and then on the question bank 2 to 3 months before sitting for the actual examination. Here at IPAS Online Review and Mentoring Academy, our best practice is always have our students focus on the concepts for the first 4 months of their preparation. Focus on the lessons that we give them and our roadmap to NCLEX book. And then after that, concept mastery can use other materials such as the charity and similar materials as well. And then 2 to 3 months before your actual examination, that's the time that you're going to do a lot of practice questions, either from our internal question bank, or you can also purchase third-party question banks. So that is going to be 2 to 3 months before your actual examination. All right? And lastly, anxiety management. Okay, so here at IPAS Online Review, we do a lot of anxiety management classes. We have at least once a month of that special class for those who are going to take the examination within the next 30 days. And it's really a journey, and you have to have that conversations with people who has undergone through that process. So we have our coaching program, and we have an army of coaches that we deploy to our students so that they can talk through their anxieties and other things that bothers their mind, because anxiety management on the NCLEX examination cannot be accomplished in just one sitting. It needs to be a series of conversations with people who can give you expert opinions on what you're going to do, and it really involves deeper connections and conversations with people whom has undergone that process as well. Okay? And let's talk about the things that you can expect on Pearson VUE. So what are the do's and don'ts? So let's talk first about the don'ts. Okay, so basically, you're not allowed to bring any review material for that matter on the testing center. It's not allowed. You are not also, of course, definitely you're not allowed to use your phones. You're not allowed to do anything that can cause distraction to other test takers inside. I mean, everyone needs to focus, so behave as much as possible. And do not wear a lot of accessories because that is not allowed on the actual examination area. What are the do's? Okay, so definitely do's is you should bring your passport because you're taking an international exam. So passport is the only form of identification that they accept on the testing center. And then do follow the instructions of the proctors inside. And basically, the things that you need to do before going to the examination is you have to do a lot of preparation and prayers at the same time. Okay, so here at IPAS, we do regular orientation to our students on what they can expect on the actual examination in terms of Pearson VUE protocols. We give them and we orient them with a walkthrough of what they're going to do from the moment they step in on the building until they end their examination. So those are the key things that you need to remember and to keep in mind if you're going to prepare for your examination. One good thing that happened this 2023 is that the NCSBN changed the format of the examination, and that is what we call now the Next Generation NCLEX. And one of the good thing that happened here is that the passing rate of NGN students or candidates is higher compared to the candidates who took the traditional format until March 2023. So right now, based on the data of NCSBN, the passing rate of those who took the Next Gen NCLEX is far more higher, around 15 to 20% higher from those who took the exam before March 2023. So if you are planning to start your NCLEX journey, the perfect time to start your NCLEX preparation is now, because it takes time for you to prepare for the test. So if you're still a little bit ambivalent or like you are unsure if you're going to push through with your NCLEX or not, we say go for it, okay? Because the earlier the better. And especially right now, the visa bulletin for EB3 visas for the United States already moved. It jumped for 8 months. So imagine how many months it will jump again in the next few months as well. So if I were you, if you're planning to start your NCLEX, you should start it now.
I pass processing made easy for you.